initially, there was a lot through school. So if your school, particularly if your school has a solid entrepreneurship program, I would do that. I was in a bunch of competitions and sort of incubator programs through NYU when I had my startup, and then met people through that, were either alumni or involved in the school, that sort of introduced me to people like in the entrepreneurship ecosystem in New York overall, and then from there it kind of snowballed. I'm an enormous introvert, actually. I hate networking events. I find them incredibly awkward. Like, they're just not great and they're not fun. And in the beginning, when I was first getting started, I kind of had to like suck it up and go to them. And then eventually I met like a critical mass of people that were in the New York ecosystem and were kind of like super connectors and really well networked and knew everyone. And then those people introduced me to other people. And then since then, I can kind of just meet new people through calls or individual coffee meetings or getting dinner or getting lunch or ways that are, much more interesting to me, because then I can actually sit down and, get to know the person. And at the end of the conversation, I might not even know what the person does, and they might not even know what I do. But I've made a friend, and that's a genuine connection, and then when that person comes to me with an ask, or wants me to help them, or wants me to introduce them to someone, I'm much more likely to want to do that with that person that I made that genuine connection, the genuine relationship with. One of those is worth 100 of the other kind, right? The other person emails me and I don't even remember them, or remember them but don't have any incentive to want to help them, versus this other person that's been authentic and genuine with me and we have a real connection and, might even be friends. So in my world, business and social are not very separate. Like a lot of my business connections I hang out with outside of work. A lot of networking is, grabbing drinks with someone and hearing about their life, and, talk about their kid, talk about their new girlfriend, and they just got engaged. It's all connected. Like, it's about everything else, it's all about everything else. The startup space specifically, it's so important to be you. So at the moment, no. In a couple of months, that might be different. We just launched a new fund like a week ago, like a later stage, more growth stage fund, under a new partner that we just brought on from Tyson, which is really exciting. Depending on how the raise for that fund goes in the next couple of months, we may be looking to hire people for that. The big thing to understand about startups and a lot of VCs, with the exceptions of like the big guys that are more like PE shops than VCs, the big thing to understand is like hiring needs are immediate. And there's this culture on college campuses that I remember from when I was there, where you like recruit and you slightly get people reaching out to me in like October wanting to hire for like summer internships for the next year, and I laugh because like I have no idea what my company is going to look like 8 months from now. Like, I have no idea what my company is going to look like next Tuesday, hopefully I have some idea, but no one is hiring no one's hiring semesters in advance in the startup space. If you want a startup job, it's immediate start. So, and that's really crappy on both ends. It's really crappy for you guys because it means that you have to decide between like the security of full-time recruiting and, what you might actually be interested in or passionate about, which isn't fair to you. And it's not fair to us because it means we lose out on a lot of really good talent to corporate, and smart on corporate side because they get a lot of really good talent, because really good talent is scared and needs a job. So that's how the system works. Unfortunately, we do not recruit in advance. If you're interested in working for us, you will unfortunately not be able to take the job. You will have to not take the job at Goldman Sachs and then recruit for immediate start positions. So unfortunately, that's how it works. We don't really hire in advance. It's like we have a business need that we need to fill immediately, and then we dive in and we start looking for that person. And one of the big qualifications, at least when I was hiring to fill my team in New York, one of the big redeeming qualities I love, my two employees are fantastic and they're great. They have lots of redeeming qualities, but one of the big reasons why I chose both of them was that they were both looking to leave immediately. They were both looking to leave their other jobs immediately. Biggest mistake that I have made. So I have been a lot more involved in fundraising for our fund over the last couple months than I had been historically. and gotten to know a lot of sort of wealthier individuals, or folks who manage family offices, or folks who manage, the guys with the real money, right? Like, VCs aren't actually the people with the money, right? Like, we're money managers. We are very specific. We're wealth managers in a very specific, very risky alternative asset class. So we don't actually have like money ourselves. Like, I don't have money, my own personal money. So we rely on raising our own fund from these limited partners, LPs, which are our investors. So I've been involved a lot more in the fundraising side, which wasn't something I had done previously, and it was very intimidating to me at first. I was like, oh my god, like, I've never like been involved with like wealthy people. Like, I don't know how to act, and I was really stiff and really formal, and thought like, oh, if you have money to give me, all of a sudden, I've seen founders do this too, like with VCs, like, oh, I have to act a certain way because this is a VC and this is going to give me money, right? And it's a huge mistake. And the biggest mistake that I've ever made has been like losing out on the connection on the ability to actually make a legitimate connection with a legitimate person, like a real person, because I was intimidated because they were in a position to give me money. And I've seen VCs make this mistake on the LP side. I've made it myself, and I've seen tons of founders make it with VCs as well. The best way to raise money is through your network. The best way to build a network is to make friends. And that is true in every industry, throughout every, walk of life, and every stage of your company. And it doesn't matter how much money people manage or have, it's the genuine personal connection and the people that you believe in and trust that you're going to give it to. And the way to do that is going in and being a human being and treating this person like someone who puts their pants on one leg at a time, just like you, and make the genuine connection. And once I started doing that, I started realizing that all these people that were coming to our office for fundraising meetings were really awesome people. And we had the best conversations, and it turned out that a lot of them were super cool. And here I was, like, terrified and stiff and not enjoying it and being freaked out and losing out on an opportunity to make a really awesome, genuine personal connection with a cool individual. And for me, networking, like, even in terms of getting my job at BIB, the guy who brought me in, the partner who brought me in, was a friend of mine that I'd met. A friend another friend had a happy hour. I'd gone to the happy hour, gotten to know this guy. We spent the whole night talking about his wife and his dog and how he hated living in Buffalo, and my boyfriend, and stayed out late and ate pizza. Like, it was like a legit, like, we hung out and we got to be friends. And then he would call me periodically and ask me for advice on building an accelerator program because he knew I'd built one. And then he called me randomly and was like, hey, my program director's visa got denied, do you want the job? And I said yes, and that was how I got the job. The other advice that I'll give to kind of close out is do not think that you know where your career is going to go, because you don't. And every time I have thought I had it all figured out, like every period of my life where I thought I had it all together and thought I had it all figured out, I can look back at that time in my life and I can see that was the time I was my most lost. Like, when you're young and when you're in college and when you're early on in your career, when you're just starting out, you will end up in a completely different place. But like, the way you think your life is going to look like in 5 years, it is not going to look like that. I can guarantee you, I don't know what your life is going to look like in 5 years, but it's not going to look like whatever you're picturing it as. It's going to probably be really awesome, but it's going to be awesome in a completely different way, because you're going to learn so much stuff that you didn't know existed, and you're going to, have so many opportunities drop into your lap that you didn't realize were going to drop into your lap. And remaining open and flexible to that will make you powerful. Crunchbase has an awesome daily and weekly newsletter that you should subscribe to. PitchBook, you can't get their newsletter unless you pay for their service, which is like really expensive, so don't do that. Other ones, Product Hunt if you're interested in tech, and then if you're interested in tech and food and Tech Connect is a really good one that I follow. And Twitter's great. I personally don't use it because I get sensory overload really easily and it bugs me out, but lots of VCs are on Twitter, so following like prominent VCs on Twitter and like tweeting at them and retweeting their stuff is a great way to stay up to date on the industry and also